Some ghosts whisper, some appear silently at the edge of vision. But at one royal palace in England, a queen is said to scream and run through corridors. And in 2003, CCTV footage would reveal paranormal that happens behind not so closed doors. This is Hampton Court Palace. Welcome back to 14th Avenue Haunting. If you are new here, I am 14th Avenue Haunting, a channel where we discuss paranormal experiences, ghost stories, true crime, tragic events, and history. And if this is something that you're into, please like and subscribe. I am here for you as often as I can, mostly Sundays and Tuesdays, but I am trying to incorporate a little bit more international ghost stories into my week. And today we are continuing with the royal hauntings of the United Kingdom. And the reason why I started the UK series is because I absolutely love ancient freaking hauntings. I love hauntings that dates back to the 1500s. I think it's the closest we can get to getting in touch with the past. And I've heard about this particular haunting like years ago. I was still in school. However, I didn't know the castle that it was connected to. I didn't really go into the history as much when I was younger, but here we are. And let's get into the history and the hauntings of the Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court Palace is located in Richmond, southwest London, on the banks of the River Thames. Now, its position was strategic, close enough to London for politics as well as power, but far enough to escape unrest and diseases and overcrowding. And for centuries, the castle was not only a residence, it was a seat of royal authority, marriages, decisions, imprisonments, and death. Hampton Court began as a grand residence built by Cardinal Thomas Wolsey in the early 1500s. But when Wolsey fell from favor, the palace was seized by King Henry VIII, who transformed it into one of the most important royal courts in England. Henry VIII lived here with several wives, including Jane Seymour, Catherine Howard, and later monarchs included William III as well as Mary II. And they ultimately expanded the palace. But in 1541, King Henry VIII's fifth wife, Catherine Howard, was accused of adultery while living at Hampton Court, which was a crime of treason for a queen. Historical records confirm that when Catherine found out that she was going to be arrested, she broke free from her guards and ran through the palace, screaming for Henry VIII, hoping she could reach him before it was too late. Unfortunately, she never did. Catherine was later taken to the Tower of London and was ultimately executed in 1542. But King Henry VIII also had another wife that lived at Hampton Court, which would be Jane Seymour, who passed away after childbirth. And since the 1500s, many years of history was created within that palace. Today, Hampton Court is owned by Historic Royal Palaces and functions as a public museum. No monarchs live there now, but many believe the past never left. The corridor where Catherine is believed to have run through is today known as the Haunted Gallery. For centuries, visitors and staff have reported seeing a woman in white Tudor clothing running through that corridor, screaming. The apparition is commonly known as the Screaming Lady. Many believe this to be a residual haunting. And what makes this haunting compelling is that the location matches documented Tudor layouts, placing Catherine exactly where the hauntings take place. Jane Seymour, Henry VIII's third wife, is also said to haunt Hampton Court. She is said to appear as a calm, silent figure, often dressed in grey or white, holding a candle. But the two wives are not the only ones said to haunt Hampton Court Palace. In 2003, Hampton Court Palace released CCTV footage. Now remember, this was before AI, and this is not me saying that is 100% factual, but it is so eerie to watch. And this CCTV footage stunned both staff and the public. The footage shows heavy fire doors that suddenly burst open almost, and then a hooded figure appears, and only for a few seconds before the doors shut again. And it is reported that at the time, no staff were present, no mechanical fault was found, and the footage was confirmed as genuine and unaltered. But palace officials only described the footage as unexplained, not paranormal. But the video remains one of the most viewed, recorded, alleged ghost sightings in the UK. Hampton Court Palace is not a ruin. It is not abandoned, and it is carefully preserved, studied, and walked. Yet, the reports continue, from queens running in terror to a hooded figure appearing on modern cameras. At Hampton Court, history does not stay behind glass. Sometimes it moves. Sometimes it comes down a hallway, screaming for a king no longer alive. Sometimes it appears as a silent figure holding a candle. And sometimes it shows up in modern surveillance cameras, putting us just one step closer into getting an actual peek into the past. And that's it. That is my haunted story on the Hampton Court Palace. I'm really enjoying this series. Talking about international hauntings is really fun. And for those of you who have a particular haunting that you would like me to cover internationally, I am going to finish my Royal UK Haunted series, and then we'll move on to the next one. I am 14th Avenue. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a spooky day.